officers. They're available on the Zoom platform. And we also have several heads of institutions who have joined our Zoom platform. Currently, you are in the mute mode to avoid any background noise. Later, after we go through some of the questions that we have already received on Twitter, Facebook, we will take questions from some of you who have joined on the Zoom. Today, we have time up to 4:50. That's about 35 minutes. So therefore, when your turn comes for asking questions, please be brief. But before I start this program, let me also inform you that this program is live streamed on our social media platforms. And there are many students and faculty members and others who will be watching our program on the social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, and the YouTube. So that means this program will also be available in recorded form on our social media platforms for others to watch later. Friends, the reason why we have requested you to join us in this event is, as you know, recently UGC has introduced a new system to provide service to the stakeholders if they have any grievances. Earlier, too, UGC had several mechanisms to address grievances, but they were all scattered. Now we have integrated all such grievance mechanism systems into one portal, and we are calling it eSamadhan. And the purpose of this eSamadhan is to receive and address the concerns expressed by the stakeholders, students, teaching faculty, non-teaching faculty, even heads of the institutions can register on our portal, and then they can send us the grievances. And internally, the concerned section will look into this grievance. If it is required to contact a university, UGC will write to them. Or if there is something that needs to be done from UGC side, we will immediately respond to that and send a reply to you. And all these things will be recorded on our eSamadhan so that we can review how these stakeholders' grievances are being addressed. And from time to time, we also would like to take feedback from the stakeholders to improve the system further, because all of us, the stakeholders like you and the UGC and our officers, we want to improve the system. And no system is 100% ideal, but we will strive to become better and better based on the inputs that we receive from all of you. Just to give you some idea about the kind of calls that we get on the eSamadhan, the eSamadhan telephone number is available 24/7, and we do get lots of phone calls between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. And we also get phone calls between 6 p.m. and the next day 6 a.m. So in the night also we do get a large number of calls, and on an average from across the country, we are getting something like 300 to 400 calls every day, and they are logged, and the concerned section will look into those grievances, and we try to provide the necessary responses to them. And we have also found that the calls that we receive are not only in Hindi and English, we have also found that the calls are in Tamil, Kannada, Bengali, and perhaps in future, we may have calls from many other languages. And what we have observed is that most of these grievances revolve around a few categories of issues. And one, of course, is the fee refund process, which needs to be done as per UGC guidelines. And then we also receive calls complaining about faculty members in the universities. And then there are admission queries, lot of admission queries also we get, and examination schedules. And recently we had CUET, NET, and NEET. And there are also, interestingly, questions about the digital university, when it is going to come, and how it is going to help the students to acquire new knowledge. And of course, regularly we also hear grievances from the scholarship on the scholarship issue. And as you know, recently for all the UGC related JRF and SRF disbursement, we have created a very student-friendly portal, and any scholarship issue we should be able to resolve very quickly and provide a solution to you. And we also get complaints regarding non-issue of degrees in time, non-issue of mark sheets and other certificates in time, and also mistakes in the mark sheets. In any case, friends, those who are part of this Zoom platform and those who are watching, if there are any challenges, any grievances from the students' point of view, or the teachers and non-teaching staff point of view, the first contact point is your own university. And if your university is unable to resolve it, or there are delays in resolving the issues that you are facing, you are most welcome to write to UGC. However, in many cases, even before contacting the university, many people write to us with the hope that UGC will contact the university and then the things will be resolved. We are, of course, doing that. Whenever we get directly complaints or grievances to us, we are contacting the universities and try to resolve. So with that introductory remarks, before I take up the questions, let me wish all of you a very, very happy Dasara. We are going through a festive mood now. Tomorrow is Dasara, and wish you all the best. Let me take a few representative questions. I'm saying it representative because we have received, in response to today's online meeting, we have received several queries and grievances, and also inputs and feedback. So we have categorized them into certain groups, so that if I take up one question here, that would address several similar questions that we have received. So one of the very good suggestions that has come is that there should be more categories of complaints on the portal, on the eSAMVAD portal, so that the grievance can be sent to the respective bureau within UGC for fast resolution of such issues. We have here Dr. Sunita Sivach, who has taken a lot of interest in introducing this eSAMVAD together with our officers in UGC. I would like to request Sunita Sivachji to please tell us whether you have plans to introduce more categories of complaints on the portal.
Good afternoon, sir, and good afternoon to all the stakeholders. On behalf of UGC, I welcome you all, and I want to say your feedback makes us more better. So we are waiting for the feedback, and we are working on that. If something is coming, this change is required, this change is required, we are doing it. और already सर मैं सबको ये भी बताना चाहूंगी कि हमने इस पोर्टल में जब हमने ये शुरू में बनाया था उससे लेके आज तक हमने इसमें 90% चेंज ऑलरेडी हमने कर दिया है. So continuously we are changing it. If more feedback is coming and we need to change it, certainly we are going to improve it, sir. Thank you very much.
Right. There are questions about in our university, there are not many hostels. The infrastructure is not good. That needs to be improved. You see, UGC funds all the central universities. And in the central universities, wherever there are infrastructural issues and other issues, we are constantly in touch with them. From time to time, we review their requirements and provide them the necessary funds. So, building infrastructure building hostels, it will take time. But many central universities are already on the job. New universities, new hostels are being built. So hopefully some of those issues should be resolved in the coming years. Now, there is one question here. I'm trying to apply for Dr. S. Radhakrishnan postdoctoral fellowship. Last date is 10th October. Unfortunately, because of the Durga Puja festival, some of the universities in West Bengal declared holiday up to 11th October. Therefore, I am not able to get approval of my application from the university registrar. So, is there any possibility of extending the last date? Well, we have actually given sufficient time for this. I think Dr. Surender Singh can answer this. I think we have given nearly 30 days or even slightly more than 30 days time for the filling up of the applications. Dr. Surender Singh, let me make you co-host so that, you can unmute now, Dr. Surender Singh.
Thank you, sir, and a very good afternoon to all the stakeholders and viewers. In fact, we have opened this portal on 5th of September on the Teachers' Day, and last date is capped on 10th of October. So more than 35 days were there. Since because a lot of the candidates are applying and we have to keep our time targets. So these individual requests definitely will keep in mind, and we will see if something can be done. But it depends on the number of applications we are receiving in the respective group. Yeah. Thank you.
Right. Diksha, please make all our officers co-hosts so that they can mute and unmute.
Yeah, I've done that, sir.
Okay, so all officers can mute and unmute. There is a question here again, Dr. Surender Singh, it is to you. For the UGC NET, the December shift exams in 2022, will there be December shift in 2022 or will it be merged with the June 2023? Kindly tell. Please unmute, Dr. Singh.
Yes, sir. In fact, December exam is fast approaching, and sorry, I couldn't get the question, sir.
The question is whether there is going to be December shift exams of UGC NET in 2022, or whether it will be merged with June 2023.
No, it's too early to say that.
We haven't yet taken a decision on that, whether to merge it or whether to have a December UGC NET examination. But in any case, this is an important examination. UGC will soon announce either way so that you are prepared for this examination. Okay, right. So the other question is, can I take a dual degree like MCA and MSc Physics at the same time? You know, this dual degree, why UGC has introduced the chance to the students to do 2 degrees at the same time simultaneously is keeping in view the NEP 2020 advocacy that we need to promote multidisciplinary education. So therefore, any combination of subjects is possible. Let's say you're a student in MSc Physics and you are interested in economics. So you can simultaneously register for a BA Economics, and maybe later you want to do Econophysics. Econophysics is a new area, emerging area where the physics models are used to find solutions in economics. So there are many such possibilities. And currently, of course, doing 2 degrees in a physical mode will be difficult because you need to ensure that there are no clash in the timetable. And you also need to ensure that the college is physically close to your original college where you are doing your first undergraduate degree. But when the digital university is established, you will have many more opportunities. You can do a physical degree in a university, and at the same time, you can also do an online degree from the digital university. So that's a possibility. Now, Jammu University is not releasing the results of Jammu and Kashmir state eligibility test for the last 2 months. The JK set was conducted. Please convey it to expedite the result declaration process. We will definitely write to the state government to expedite this process. Although the JK SET is not conducted by UGC, it is the responsibility of the state government. But however, from UGC side, we will send a request to them to look into it. There is one question here. Each and every university is charging somewhere between 200 to 1,000 rupees just for the registration process during the admission process. And we have already paid 600 rupees to NTA, and these fees are not refundable. Let me very briefly tell you, the admission charges that each university is charging is dependent on the admission process of the university. UGC doesn't really come into picture. And as far as the NTA is concerned, well, NTA has to conduct the test across the country. So therefore, it requires a lot of infrastructure and other things that need to be provided to conduct the NTA exam. That is why we charge a nominal fee of 600 for writing the entrance examination. But however, we are constantly in touch with the universities to make sure that the charges during the admission process are not exorbitantly high. Now, there is another question which says the CUET PG 2022 is not providing the facility of centralized counseling, and that is becoming problematic. You see, even for CUET UG, there is no centralized counseling. And CUET PG also currently there is no centralized counseling. But however, in future, as we discuss with the universities, if such a need arises, if we collectively believe that a centralized counseling will help the students in conducting the admission process smoothly, there is no harm in looking at that possibility, because technology is available. But whatever we do, whatever decision we will take about centralized counseling, we will have discussions with the stakeholders and take a collective decision on that. Right. Let me take one more question. Can a dual degree like admission in BEd Science and MSc Chemistry, can they be done simultaneously? BEd comes under another regulator. So currently what we are doing is, since AICTE and UGC looks after almost 75% of the students in the higher educational institutions, we are trying to bring a kind of harmonization in terms of the guidelines that we issue, in terms of the regulations that we will bring in future, so that the stakeholders will have maximum benefit out of this. If the other regulators also decide that a dual degree is a possibility, then of course you can do. So whether you can do BEd simultaneously with MSc depends on whether the other regulator will permit. But hopefully, once the Higher Education Commission of India comes, most of these problems will be tackled, because we will have one integrated Higher Education Commission of India, and the stakeholders do not have to go from one regulator to the other regulator for approvals, for permissions, and so on. So things will become much easier when the Higher Education Commission of India is established. So let me take one more question here. Magadha University PG session is running late by 2.5 years. Semester 1 examination is still pending. Can UGC do something about it? I request the concerned officer to talk to Magadha University and see what are the challenges they have and whether these examinations can be conducted soon. There is a general suggestion here appointments in universities need to be done immediately, and there need to be reforms. Friends, let me tell you that at least for all the central universities, we are building a common recruitment portal. The individual universities will do their own selection processes, but the application process will happen on one single portal, and the prospective candidates have to register on this portal, and then their application can be transferred to any university which has advertised the respective positions which match with the interests of the candidates. So once this portal comes, at least in the central universities, you will have one place where all the information related to the faculty recruitments will be available. Let me take one more question here. When will be UGC NET Economics admit card release and exam date be released? Because it is not yet released. We will check with NTA. Dr. Surinder Singh, do you have any answer to this? The admit card and exam date?
Yes, sir. We have received some queries that admit card has been released over 2 or 3 days prior to the exam. So we are taking up with the NTA. Then we are requesting to NTA that they should be given some more time. So though a large number of students are appearing and more than 12 lakh people are registering for the exam, it's a big exam. So we are requesting NTA to take care of it.
Okay, right. Let me take one more question. GGSIPU is not obeying UGC circular of 2nd August 22, which states that universities have to give full refund to students till 31st October. You please send, see, you have sent this on the Twitter, but we need to receive this grievance on our SAMVAD portal so that our officers can look into it and resolve this issue. Okay. Most of the comments that I have here, we have received it on the Twitter. So recently we said that in the new PhD regulations, we are saying that this mandatory research publication before the submission of the thesis, it's causing a lot of problems to the students. So we said we need to train our students, we need to encourage our students to publish high quality papers in known journals, respected journals. But however, we are saying that it doesn't have to be mandatory before the submission of the thesis. So is it applicable with immediate effect for all the batches, new and continuing? Whenever we bring out the regulations, they are applicable prospectively. They are not applicable to the students who registered before the release, before the announcement of the new regulations. So as soon as we announce these regulations, it will be applicable to all the students who will join in the PhD program after the announcement of the PhD regulations. So let me take one more question. Funding for doctoral students in social sciences is abysmal in India. Libraries are unable to provide the relevant journals. How can UGC increase this funding? Dr. Surinder Singh, you can tell about our recent research schemes where we are giving in all areas, including social sciences. Please.
Yes, UGC has introduced the postdoctoral fellowship scheme for post-PhD students, those who have already done PhD, and there are 900 slots, and this is applicable to all the subjects across all the streams. So all those who have completed PhD, they can apply till 10th of October.
Okay, so there is this question. Whenever complaints are registered on SAMVAD portal, UGC is sending them to the respective universities for redressal. but the concerned staff of the university does not resolve these complaints properly, and they are closing these complaints. Now, whenever you find such a situation that your complaint is not resolved or the university is not responding, please do contact us again through eSamadhan portal, and our officers will definitely look into it. Dr. Sunita Sivach, would you like to add anything on this?
Yes, sir. Sir, in UGC, we have decided, means if this kind of problem is coming again and again, we are calling university personally up to the level of Vice Chancellor. And now Registrar of UGC would be a contact person for UGC. So we are sending all the grievances or whatever problem students are facing. So in a month, we are going to have a meeting with defaulting universities also under your chairmanship, sir.
Right.
Thank you, sir.
So there is a question here, Dr. Surinder Singh. Please provide UGC NET examination in the local languages also. So in how many languages it is conducted now, UGC NET?
Yes, all Indian scheduled language which are under Schedule 8, I think 22 languages it is being conducted, and also there are some foreign languages it is being conducted. And paper is set in 2 languages, Hindi and English, and except these language papers, they are set in the respective language. So,
right. So students can answer in their local language also, in their mother tongue, even though the question paper is in English?
Basically, it is an objective type question, and they have to simply mark their option, and there is no written requirements.
Right. So there is a good question here. Deepak Verma is asking, are there any guidelines for introducing internship by UGC? Dr. Gopakumar, are you there?
Yes, sir.
About internship, could you please explain?
Yeah. In the soon to be released guidelines on the curriculum and credit framework, there is a provision for internship. And in addition to that, UGC is also developing research internship guidelines also. So these guidelines will be soon, it will be published. So this is as per the recommendation of NEP 2020, the emphasis for internship is here. Thanks.
Right. So it is going to come, and internship will actually become mandatory for all the students. And we have also expanded the definition of internship. Whenever we talk about internship, in our mind, it comes that, I have to go to an industry and do the internship. You will continue to do that, but you can also take internship in other organizations. For example, you are a student in a university studying a particular subject. You don't have to do internship only in that particular discipline. Maybe you would like to go and work in a panchayat office and see how technology is impacting people's life there, and prepare a report on that. So the purpose of internship is to understand real life problems and how real life solutions are being provided to address the concerns of the people. So in the coming years, internship will provide the students the real experiential learning, and that's going to happen soon. There is a question here from Govinalla Rangareddy. We need our college name to be changed. So what is the procedure? How do I do that? Who can answer this?
I will respond to this. So when the name of the college is changed, the university should acknowledge that, and the university should notify that there is a change in the name. So a notification from the university is required. If it is a government college, then the notification from the state government is required, and they should approach the UGC. We will change in our records.
Okay. There is one question from Nisha Kumari. Dear sir, मेरा प्रश्न है कि सभी विश्वविद्यालय में स्नातक और स्नातकोत्तर की अब तक की सभी लंबित परीक्षाएं को सही समय में कराइए जाए। Jai. I'm not telling the name of the state, but the concern here is that things should be done on time. UGC, in general, it writes to all the universities from time to time, sensitizing them about the academic schedules, examinations, and other issues. So in this case also, we will definitely write to all the universities to conduct the convocation, which is a very, very important event in the life of a student, to conduct these convocations on time, conduct the examinations on time, and so on. That needs to be done. And related to this, there is an important question. Kindly make examination calendar in line with academic session. Late examinations and results gives unwanted anxiety to students. I completely agree with you. Unfortunately, because of the COVID pandemic during the last 2.5 years, the entire academic calendar got disturbed. And thanks to our students and faculty members in the higher educational institutions, slowly we are coming back and closer to the regular academic calendar. And we hope that in another 1 year or so, we should be able to bring back our original academic session. And with that, it will also be possible to conduct our entrance tests also well in time, so that the admission processes are done during the regular academic session without any delay. There is one more question here. This question is about the Anomaly Committee 2018 formed by UGC. Research associateship experience is not considered for associate professor due to salary equivalent anomaly. However, postdoc from foreign is considered. Please do something about it. Dr. Gopakumar, would you like to say something about it?
Yes, sir. Sir, a committee has already been constituted, and the committee, while preparing this report on the anomaly redressal report, they have taken into consideration the experience gained from research associateship also, and we can say that currently it is under consideration.
Okay. So this is again, Dr. Sunita Sivach, we need to look into this. I'm not reading out the person's name, but despite repeated directives from UGC, this university is not resolving our matter. Could you please look into it? So this complaint is with us, and we will definitely talk to the university and try to resolve that.
Yes, sir. We'll call personally, sir.
So in many cases, as Dr. Sunita Sivach has said, whenever issues are not resolved and it comes to our notice, we call the Vice Chancellor, we call the Registrar. Sometimes we even call them for a meeting and talk to them to resolve these issues. The purpose of this e-Samadhan is to provide resolutions to your grievances in a time-bound manner. And we hope that with the inputs that you are giving, we will improve our system and make it better. So let me now request our colleagues who have joined in the Zoom platform. If they have any questions, you can raise your hand, and we will request you to unmute and ask the question. Right. There is Dr. Muhammad Arif. Could you please ask him to unmute? Yes, Dr. Arif, please go ahead. Okay. Any other question from colleagues who have joined? Okay, there is, yeah, could you please unmute yourself? I saw you waving your hand. So please unmute. I am giving you the privilege to unmute. Please go ahead and unmute. I see your name as Vice Chancellor, but I don't know your name. Yes, you are unmuted now. Please go ahead, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Did you wanted to ask something? I saw you waving your hand. I thought you wanted to ask some question.
It's a pleasure, sir. It's a pleasure that I'm attending this meeting with you, sir. But there is no question specifically from my side, sir.
Okay, right. Any other question? Right. Professor Rajiv Kumar, is he here from AICT? No, I don't think he is there. Okay. I'm just looking at any other possible questions that So this is a common question that is coming. Sir, मैं MSc का स्टूडेंट हूं और मैं बीएड करना चाहता हूं, क्या मैं दोनों डिग्री साथ ले सकता हूं क्या? 2 degrees guidelines, who worked on it? Surinderji, who has worked on it?
Yes, sir. We have released it. And
would you like to answer that?
Yes, sir. If the statutory body does not have any issue, then they can. We have allowed 2 full-time program also, even if the time slot does not coincide. And if the statutory regulatory bodies they are allowing, they can have it because it is a BEd. So they have to see that whether NCT will allow it or not. If they are allowing it, they can do that.
Right. Which is the regulator which looks after BEd?
For BEd, NCT, National Council for Teacher Education.
National Council for Teacher Education. So if they permit, then you can do both of them together. So there is a question here. Kindly clarify if one can do MA along with PhD. What if a candidate is having MA in different discipline and PhD in different discipline? This case requires second MA in the discipline of PhD. So you have combined many questions here. One refers to 2 simultaneous degrees. If I'm a PhD student, can I also do some other degree simultaneously? Certainly no. The current guidelines of UGC do not permit you while you are a PhD student. Remember that you are getting a scholarship if you are a full-time scholar. And if you are a part-time scholar, you are already employed somewhere. And you need to give your full attention to PhD because you need to create new knowledge and contribute to the growth of a chosen discipline. So that's the reason why we are not permitting PhD student to do an additional degree. But however, you can do courses as part of your university. You can typically a certain number of credits are expected to be done by the students, about 12 credits or so. But you want to do more credits than 12 credits, take permission from your research advisory committee and do additional courses either within your university or with the permission of the university. Let's say in SWAYAM portal or in some other, in digital university you would like to do, you can always do, but not 2 degrees simultaneously. And about MA in one discipline, but PhD in a different discipline. Well, we are encouraging multidisciplinary education, but if you want to do PhD in a completely different area in which you have absolutely no background, it becomes difficult. That is why generally we advise that if you have a 4 years undergraduate degree in a given discipline, or a 3-year undergraduate degree and 2 years master's degree, and you have also done some project work, some research work, then in the same discipline or in a related discipline, you can definitely do your PhD. For example, you are a BTech in electronics and communication engineering, but you want to do PhD in artificial intelligence. It's quite possible because you might have taken some computer science, machine learning courses as part of your BTech. But if you want to do a BTech in, let's say, metallurgy. You are a BTech in electrical engineering and electrical and communication engineering. You want to do PhD in metallurgy. That may become difficult for you because you are not trained in metallurgy to do PhD. So therefore, you need to choose the combination of subjects carefully before you choose to do your PhD. So let me see, there is one more question. Dr. Surinder Singh, this question is to you. We have got A grade thrice in NAC, but we are not able to get autonomous status because our university is not permitting. So how shall we address this?
So in fact, they can represent to us, and also if there is we are constituting the committee, if there is some code direction are there, so committee can visit and we will examine at our own levels.
Okay. What is the difference between CSIR and UGC? Why both are not in the same umbrella? Well, Council for Scientific and Industrial Research is an organization which focuses on research, whereas UGC looks after higher education. And the responsibility of the UGC is coordination, determination, and maintenance of the standards in higher education as per the Act, 1956 Act, based on which UGC has been established. And CSIR has several research labs across the country, and in diverse areas they do research. And many universities collaborate with the CSIR labs for doing research. And there is one question here, whether the publication of 2 journals in CARE listed, UGC CARE listed, is mandatory while doing PhD, or the scholar can go for peer-reviewed journals. Please clarify. You know, one thing is very clear. When you do PhD work, ultimately, you need to publish your research results in some good journal. The UGC CARE list is provided only as a guidance to the researchers because they don't know which is a predatory journal, which is a good journal. So UGC CARE list of journals provides you some kind of guidance, but the first point of contact could be your own supervisor who himself or herself has published before becoming a faculty member, or while being a faculty member. They will be experienced enough to guide you in which journals to publish. It's good that you're asking while doing PhD itself, you want to publish, which is a good sign. You should publish even before you submit your thesis. You should aim to publish. But however, we in the new PhD guidelines, we are not making it mandatory to publish before the submission of thesis. That doesn't mean that you should not publish. You should aim to publish in top quality journals. You should attend different conferences and make presentations on your work. That's how you get in touch with other scientists in the same discipline. You should apply for patents. All this has to be done as part of your PhD work. Let me go to Dr. M. Dikshit. Could you please unmute yourself?
सर गुड इवनिंग सर,
प्लीज गो अहेड।
सर मेरा प्रश्न ये है कि विश्वविद्यालयों के द्वारा स्ववित्त पोषित महाविद्यालयों के शिक्षकों के साथ 2M दर्जे का व्यवहार किया जाता है। कहीं भी हमारा एक्सपीरियंस पूरा है, लेकिन हम जब एसोसिएट प्रोफेसर के लिए अप्लाई करते हैं तो हमारे एक्सपीरियंस को नकार दिया जाता है, यह कहते हुए कि आपका जो ग्रेड पे है वह ग्रेड पे जो होना चाहिए वो नहीं है। दूसरा, किसी भी स्टेट विश्वविद्यालय के द्वारा हम शिक्षकों को किसी भी विश्वविद्यालय के कार्यों में शामिल नहीं किया जाता, तवज्जो नहीं दिया जाता। क्या इसमें यूजीसी कुछ कर सकता है, हमारी मदद?
Right. Who would like to answer it? Dr. Gopkumar, please go ahead. Yeah.
As per the अभी जो existing regulation है, UGC regulation 2008, उसके हिसाब से जो past experience अगर count करने के लिए salary should be same, जो previous posting है same होना चाहिए, तो उस gross emolument should be same. तो अभी जो कमिटी अनोमली रिड्रेसल कमिटी काम कर रही है उसमें उनका विचार है ये ग्रास शुड बी कन्वर्टेड टू बेसिक, लेकिन अभी तक अप्रूवल नहीं हुआ. इट इज अंडर कंसिडरेशन.
कोई भी प्राइवेट कॉलेज सर ग्रेड नहीं देता है.
Sorry,
ये
sir?
तो फिक्स सैलरी देते हैं सर. मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कोई भी प्राइवेट कॉलेज ग्रेड नहीं देता, कोई भी सैलरी ग्रेड. ये लोग फिक्स सैलरी देते हैं, कुछ निश्चित कर लेते हैं, जो भी बात होती है, कोई ग्रेड देता ही नहीं है.
ठीक है सर, ये कंसिडर करें, कमिटी के सामने रखेंगे, जो है हम कंसिडर करें.
ओके सर, थैंक यू.
Right. Dr. Sangeeta Agarwal, could you please unmute?
Good evening, sir.
Namaste, बताइए.
Sir, I was a research associate from 91 to 93. And after that, after selecting by UPHED, I have joined in 94 SSB college.
बताइए आपका प्रश्न क्या है? Okay, it looks like she got a phone call. Farzana Mahdi, could you please unmute yourself?
Good evening, sir.
Huh.
We are very happy that this kind of a meeting has been called and all of us here have joined. And a lot of our queries, I was having also some queries, but during this duration, already a lot of queries have been addressed to. So I just wanted to say thanks for giving us this platform that we all are here, and a lot of information which we were thinking of asking, they have been already addressed. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you. Thank you very much, Farzana Ji. Right. I think we will close now. Most of the questions, as Farzana Ji has said, we have addressed, but still there could be some questions and some of you may not be able to ask them because you are not on this Zoom portal, or maybe we missed a couple of questions. So we will keep meeting like this frequently, and the eSamadhan portal is available to you. Even if you have a suggestion, not necessarily a grievance, you are most welcome to write to us, and let us collectively work and improve the system so that ultimately your productivity as teachers and as students will improve, and our universities will become some of the best in the world. So with those comments, I would like to conclude here because I have to join in another meeting. And I would like to thank all my colleagues from UGC who have joined here, and all my colleagues from the higher educational institutions who have taken time out of their busy work and joined here. And all those for watching our social media platform and listening to these conversations. I would like to